think the Secretary of State stated today that the risk audit would start on Friday and end on Wednesday. And certainly, I see it as an advantage for us. We're going to be able to gain the confidence of 11 million Georgians and nearly 5 million people who voted in the recent election.
Governor, do you have a reason? And I know it's Lieutenant Governor, but I was raised by a Lieutenant Governor.
You can call me Geoff.
And no. I respect the title. Lieutenant Governor and Governor are both Governor. That's why I say it. Governor, do you have any reason to believe that the count is off?
Well, we continue to work very closely with our Attorney General, Chris Carr, with our Secretary of State's office, Brad Raffensperger. They have all the resources ready and available to investigate. Certainly, they're continuing to field some calls. There's some things out there. I think we've heard some early reports about potentially some deceased individuals and certainly some issues out there, and they continue to investigate those. At this time, I've not seen any sort of systemic irregularities or any sort of systemic issues.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking?
Did you hear that? The Lieutenant Governor of Georgia, Geoff Duncan, also known as the Georgia Zoolander. He looks like a male model. That's Steve Bannon's description of him. He says they're having a risk audit. A risk audit, an audit. Got it? Risk? No, it's not an audit. It's a recount. Geoff Zoolander. It's a recount. What they're doing is they're recounting the fraudulent ballots. Now, they do have one observer for every 10 people doing the recount, and that's somehow considered I guess that's what they call a risk audit. No, you need, for every team of 2 people doing a recount, you got to have one person on each. The Republican Party has agreed to pay for those observers doing a real audit, but so far as I've heard, so far as I know, that hasn't been accepted. Georgia won't have to pay for it. It's done by the Republican Party. So bottom line here is there's something going on in Georgia with these high officials, the governor, the Secretary of State, Raffensperger, and the Lieutenant Governor Zoolander there. There's something going on that they are doing everything they can to prevent a real audit. And I want to show you the reason why this might be, because there is a really close connection between all these guys at the top, the good old boys in Georgia at the top of the Republican Party there, and Dominion voting systems. So just to give you an idea of how dependent on the Dominion voting systems is in Georgia compared to all the other states, let's take a look right now, real quick, at a map of the Dominion voting systems in Georgia. Yeah, so here's a map of where Dominion systems are being used around the country. Now, where are they being used the most? Obviously, Georgia. Look at that. I guess. Look. I mean, it's like you can see a map of Georgia by where those Dominion systems are located. It's concentrated. Something is going on in Georgia between elected officials. We're talking the governor's office, Secretary of State, and with the Lieutenant Governor Zoolander. Something is going on with them in Zoo. I mean, why would they? I mean, it's like they're obviously awarding massive amount of contracts for Dominion voting systems. So something is going on in Georgia. We really need to get to the bottom of this, and hopefully there will be an actual real audit, not a fake audit, a real audit in Georgia. So as you see, there's something is going on in Georgia. I mean, that they don't want a real audit. This risk audit, I don't know what the hell that is. No, a real audit. That's what you need. Now, one point of information is, remember Lynn Wood? He's the guy that represented the Covington Catholic kid and got him great settlements from like the Washington Post and CNN and other places when they smeared him in January 29, I believe it was January 2019, at the Lincoln Monument. You remember that lawsuit. Anyway, Lynn Wood has filed a lawsuit on the state of Georgia, and basically it says this: what happened is last March of this year, the nincompoop, I can't, this guy Raffensperger, I don't know what's going on there. The Secretary of State, Raffensperger, entered into an agreement with the Democrats on how to check how to handle the absentee ballot. Now, here's the problem. And they agreed to it, and that's the way they handled it in the election. But the problem is this, is that the legislature, not the Secretary of State or anybody else or the governor, the state legislature, as states in the Constitution, sets the rules for the federal elections. And in this case, and by the way, the remedy, the state legislature remedy is if these rules are not followed, this has to do with dating the envelopes, the signatures on the absentee ballots. If these are not followed, those that says shall be, that means must be, they shall be discarded. So you throw out those absentee ballots, all those, this is, that flooded in. And yeah, things are a lot different in Georgia when that happens. So we're going to see what happens on that. And as far as the Georgia Zoolander, I've got my eyes on you.
There's a lot of starving children in Africa who would die to go to a thong shoot.